Today, we're here at MRPS Automotive, one of our fantastic dealers for Whiteline. We're here interviewing Katie, who's an up-and-coming grassroots racer. She's got a pretty unique car, so come and check it out with us. Here we go. Hey Katie, I'm
Hello.
Lucas.
Katie, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. We're down here with Katie today talking about her awesome Scirocco. So Katie, what are we getting installed on your car today?
Alright, so we're getting the bushings done throughout the whole car, and we're also getting the rear sway bar done with all parts from Whiteline.
Yeah, exciting stuff. So we've already got some Whiteline parts in the front of the car, and now it's time just to stiffen up the rear and stiffen up the rest of the chassis as well. So when did you first start getting into racing?
So my dad's been racing for pretty much his whole life.
Yeah, right.
But I only started last year.
Yep.
So my first year with Queensland Production Cars was last year in this car. So we bought my Volkswagen at the end of 2023.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And then 2024 was my first year for racing.
That's great. That's exciting. So I heard that you've got your first race as well coming up for this year next week. Is that right?
Yes, next week, the 24th of May at Queensland Raceway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with your dad starting off in the racing world, is that what's inspired you to get into racing yourself?
100%. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%. And I've always said to my dad, please, can I please go on the track?
Yeah.
And I did a couple of track days with a road car, a Volkswagen road car, and then also did one track day in his car, and I fell in love, and then that was
that's
it.
awesome.
Yeah, one of our family friends actually had this car for sale,
right.
so.
There you go, so just bought it off them and get out there yourself.
Pretty much,
Yeah, that's awesome. So with the Scirocco being a bit of a unique car, what made you go down that path?
Honestly, I think because the main reason was Dad had his first, so he's gotten the same one. Same setup, but it's slightly a little bit faster.
Yeah.
But I think as well because there was, I think, 3 Sciroccos in Queensland Production Cars before this one was on sale. So I think because it was in the industry then and I was looking at it and, you know, this one was for sale, I was like, oh cool, this is really cool.
Yep.
And I love, it's so weird that the bum of the car just looks so good on track and the colour of it's just amazing as well.
Yeah, it's like a melted Golf R. It's
Yes,
awesome.
it
I
is,
love
it
it.
is.
2 doors always a win as well.
Yeah.
Now that we've learned a little bit about the car and a little bit about Katie, we're going to go check it out ourselves. So we've now moved around to the front of the car. At the moment, it looks pretty stock in the engine bay. What's going on here?
So with Queensland Production Cars in my Class C, most of it can't really be changed. It has to be pretty much stock.
Yep.
So the intake has to be stock. So it looks pretty boring under the hood, but that's because of our rules and regulations with Queensland Production Cars.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So you keep it all on the same sort of base so that there's no one going crazy with boost or anything like that?
Yeah, so we have a boost logger here, so after each race, they plug it in and they check our boost levels so that we're not going over our limit.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So now we move on to the interior of the car. So what type of setup do you have going on in here? Tell us a little bit about the roll cage and the seat setup and the rest of the interior.
Yeah, so it has to be FIA approved with the seat, the roll cage and the net here as well, and all the seat belt. You have to make sure that that's all approved, and also that's all in expiry date, so it actually does expire. So when we first bought the car, I actually couldn't see over the steering wheel, so we've had a lot of different things changed here, so the seat is a little bit smaller and a lot higher.
Yep.
So that I can see over the steering wheel.
Yeah, that's great. That's handy.
Yeah.
So obviously we don't have any carpet in here or any fancy interior. What's the reason for that?
So in a race car, you want it to be as light as possible with the least amount of things. So like your aircon's not necessary. We do have a fan, but it doesn't have heating or cooling. Most of the interior, so like your radio's gone, all that type of stuff. And then as you can see in the door card, the windows are gone, so that's all in the inside now. So your windows, and then obviously your mirrors as well to turn in and out. So that's all in the dash now rather than on the outside, so that you'll probably more see it there.
Yeah, right. So how do you stay cool when you're driving?
I have a cooling suit, so that's just a shirt that pumps cold water through that shirt. So that's just an esky on the side on the passenger seat with ice cold water in it and just pumps through.
Oh, that'd be good.
Sometimes the fan is on, so it's just a fan that goes through. Usually that doesn't do much though when you're head to toe covered in fireproof suits. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's insane. There you go.
So obviously the interior looks a little bit different to your normal road car. So there's obviously lots of things going on here. So obviously you've got your controls here. So for example, you've got your cool suit, so you can turn that on and off. So that's the flick switch there. With a normal car, your rear hatch would have a button over probably on your door here, but obviously we don't have it there. So you have that rear hatch to open the boot. And then you've got your rain light. So when it's raining, we always have to have a rain light. So at the back there's just a light that stays red the whole time, just so that people can see you driving around in the track in the rain. And then you've got your radio as well. So this red button here is how I speak to my car controllers through my radio.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we've obviously done a bit of a rig rundown on this Scirocco, and thank you, Katie, for letting us know about all the details of the build. We're going to then move on to installing some of the white line parts just to stiffen up that rear end with the rear sway bar and then the bushes throughout the rest of the car. While the white line parts were getting installed, we spoke to Dylan about some unique builds in the workshop. So I'm here with Dylan, who's one of the owners of MRPS Automotive. He's here to tell us a little bit more about the workshop. Whenabouts did you guys start the business?
So we started about 8 years ago. We decided to actually get a shed and start doing this properly.
Yep.
We were sort of doing it just around around home and stuff before that.
Yeah.
Always playing with cars. We went to school together, left school, did our apprenticeships together. And then, eventually decided we should start something and do something. It's obviously where the passion is.
Yep. When you're doing your builds, what's your main focus at the moment? So what style of cars are you most into at the moment?
It's a bit of a mix. Like we've done a fair bit of circuit racing, especially involved with the Siroccos and stuff.
Yep.
But we've also done a lot of like a bit of drag racing stuff as well.
Yeah, cool.
Just general street stuff, general street cars, but nothing really super specific. But we're starting to lean more into the circuit stuff these days, especially with white line and with the cars we're currently running. Plus what we've done, Bathurst and QPC and stuff. So
yep.
Yeah.
And you've got a pretty unique stage of your workshop where you've got a dyno tuning section as well. How does that play in with your builds?
Oh, it's like a massive part of it, because pretty much then we can sort of have full control of the whole car. So if things go wrong, it's someone's fault here.
Yeah.
There's no one to sort of blame, and we can't be blaming other workshops or other people or whatever. If the car doesn't make it to the finish line, it's, we usually did everything on it except for probably the major wire ups. That's the only thing we don't really do here.
Yeah.
We do minor wiring here, sensor installs and extra bits and bobs that go along with aftermarket ECUs and stuff.
Yep. Yeah, right, there you go. So, and with the performance side, how often are you using the white line parts when it comes into the different categories of cars?
Pretty much most cars, when we're doing suspension upgrades, it's pretty much like between white line, for bushes and stuff like that, we'd use like a lot of MCA for suspension.
Yep.
Yeah, most, depends what someone wants to do, but from a street car that wants to go to the track a little bit,
yep.
All the way up to obviously a full race car, when we've got white line bushes available.
Yeah.
That's what we use.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And with all of the white line parts now installed, we moved back to Katie to wrap up. Now all of the white line parts are installed on Katie's Scirocco. If you want to follow the rest of the journey, how are we going to see that?
Follow me on Katie On Track on Instagram and TikTok, and also YouTube.
Good luck out there on the track. We're excited to hear how everything performs out there for you, and stay safe out there.
Thank you so much.
If you enjoy this type of content, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and we can follow on journeys like these with Katie. Thanks very much for having us today, and stay grip activated.